Ladies and gentlemen, Primetime CP23 here, back with my first full build guide of Season 11. Today we're going to be looking at the multi-shot Demon Hunter. This is my early season speed farm build. Right now it's still a little incomplete. Ideally, when it's built up better, it's going to be Traveler's Pledge, Compass Rose Traveler's Pledge as the amulet. And then a Convention of Elements. This one's really poorly rolled. But as of right now, it's still very early in the season. I'm sitting at 238 Paragon, which is not great. But I also haven't got to play as much this season as I intended. But real life comes first sometimes. So, this build is going to be multi-shot. So jumping right into the skills, we've got Focus, or Invasive Fire with the Focus rune. This is purely until our cooldown gets higher. Once we have higher cooldown, right now we're sitting at just under 30%. When we have a little more cooldown, we'll actually be able to remove Evasive Fire completely from the build, and I'll get to that in a minute. But we do need a generator currently. And this one generates extra hatred, I believe. I believe that's what the rune does. Yeah, increases hatred generation instead of backflipping, which is cool. We're using multi-shot with the Arsenal rune because, number one, it looks freaking awesome. You see all the homing rockets flying around. It's just cool. No, but more importantly, it's super powerful, and your rockets are super powerful. We're using more Personal Mortar on Vengeance. The reason for this is because we don't particularly need the hatred regeneration. I mean, it would be helpful, but we don't particularly need it. We have Seethe, and we don't need the damage reduction of Darkheart. So we're using Personal Mortar so that we're also doing fire damage with Vengeance, which is going to synergize with some of our stat choices. Also, eventually, it would not be a bad thing to have a Visage of Goons in the cube so that you would gain the Darkheart rune anyway on Vengeance. But we'll get to that in a minute. Going on with the skills, we've got Vault with the Tumble rune so that we can immediately vault again, so we can vault twice for reduced discipline cost. Using Preparation with the Punishment rune to restore our hatred. When you are empty on hatred, you can pop Preparation Punishment, and you're going to go all the way almost to full hatred. Then you're going to have Bat Companion, which is going to instantly regen your hatred. So the gameplay here, mixed with this Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac in the cube, or wearing, whatever. Really, Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac and Convention of Elements are the important ones. So, I mean, like I said, ideally you would have a Traveler's Pledge and Compass Rose, the Endless Walk set, with a Convention of Elements, probably Convention of Elements in the cube, wearing Obsidian Ring, but still early season. We work with what we've got. So the gameplay here is going to be, you see a group of enemies out here somewhere? You multi-shot at them. When you start running low on hatred, you pop Prep, go back up to full, fire at things until they die, prep your Bat Companion, and hopefully you'll have enough CDR that with that and your resource spender, you will regain preparation before, like, without having any downtime. If you can get enough CDR on your gear to not have any downtime, you can drop the generator completely and probably swap to... I would say you could probably swap to Marked for Death with either Grim Reaper or Valley of Death. But it's still early season. I'm still working on you know, gearing. For passives, I'm going with Single Out, Single Out for additional critical hit chance, Hot Pursuit for additional movement speed. This is a speed build. Perfectionist to reduce the discipline cost of all skills and increase your armor and resistances, which is helpful. Not particularly necessary right here, but the discipline cost, the reduced discipline cost is the important part because that allows you to vault more before you lose all of your discipline, as well as being able to keep up your damage with your Unhallowed Essence set after you've been vaulting. And then Ambush to deal some additional damage to enemies at high health. Alternates here, if you want to drop Hot Pursuit or Ambush, or really even Single Out, I mean, you could always switch in Tactical Advantage, maybe Archery. Leech is always a good one. If you want to try a little higher content, you could go with Awareness, just so you have the cheat death. But as of right now, this is what I'm liking. I think it's working pretty well. In the cube, using a Demon Machine, I don't really have anything better yet. And then a Black Feather in the cube in the armor spot for the same reason. Just I don't particularly have anything that's more helpful. If I was doing higher content, Pauldrons of the Skeleton King would probably be better. Or even Shinmizu's Haori. Words are fun. Like I said, Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac is pretty much best in slot right there. And I don't think I mentioned, this all revolves around the 6-piece bonus of the Unhallowed Essence set. These are not particularly well-rolled ancient boots, but they are still ancient. Anyway, so you're going to generate additional hatred with your generators. You're going to deal extra damage and get a bunch of damage reduction when there's no enemies within 8 yards of you. Or within 10 yards of you, excuse me. And your generators, Multi-Shot, and Vengeance all deal an extra 40% damage for every point of discipline you have. So when you're at full discipline, you're gaining 40 times 54 in damage. Math is fun. I know it's a lot. It's a lot of extra damage. That's what is important. We're using Yang's Recurve, so that multi-shot attacks 50% faster. Also built into multi-shot is built into Yang's Recurve is a reduce all resource cost by 40 to 50%. So that's always good. And the Dead Man's Legacy, so the multi-shot hits all enemies below 50 to 60% twice. As for your belt, there's some leeway here. It's not terribly strict. This one is actually just the same belt that I use with my generator grenades pushing build, which we'll do another video on. As for your gems, you're definitely going to want a Zay's Stone of Vengeance. As you can see, mine is rank 0, and I'm going to be doing T8 in T7, 8, Torment 8, 7, 8 in like 3 minutes. So, the higher your rank of Zay's Stone, the more damage you're going to do, and the better off you're going to be. Then we've got a Bane of the Powerful, and Gogaku Swiftness for that additional cooldown reduction. So, I think that's it for the gear and the stats. As for Paragon choices, you're going to want to increase your movement speed, and then dump everything into Dexterity. Offense, cooldown reduction, attack speed, crit hit chance, crit hit damage. That's personally how I like to do it. If you want to hit a little harder and a little slower, you could go cooldown reduction, then crit hit chance, then attack speed. Cooldown reduction is definitely the #1 priority. Defense, resist all, then life, then armor, and utility. Again, an argument could be made that in this build, at this level content, resource cost reduction is more important. Personally, I just like to have the area damage buff because area damage is fun. Making the whole screen go boom is a good thing. And let's go ahead and do a GR35, which is what I've been doing. I have basically been running solo. My timing with the guys has kind of gotten off this season. We streamed most of the opening night of the season together, and then just haven't had a chance to play together very much. And the beauty of this build... Oh, that was a bad play. In case you didn't notice, we're not very tanky right now. This is why live commentaries aren't as common. But I've always preferred doing everything live, so... Usually, if I die, it's something stupid like that with this build. At this level of content, if I die, it's because I wasn't paying attention. And because I vaulted in when I shouldn't have. So you literally just vault in, blow up the whole screen, and then move on about your life. And like I said, if you have higher CDR, so that you can have either prep or animal companion up at all times, then you can probably drop the generator completely out of build. But as this is still very early in the season, and I have... Sorry. And he glitched out. Very early in the season, I have 29.96% CDR. I don't really have good enough CDR. Oh, by the way, now that I think of that, instead of Demon Machine, as soon as you get it, throw a Dawn in the cube, because Demon Machine is clearly not optimal. A Dawn is what's optimal so that you have permanent uptime on Vengeance. And when you hit a Channeling Pylon, you just look for Elite Packs. You just vault endlessly. I'm not finding any Elite Packs. There's one. You want to get far away from the bosses and unload. Again, while paying attention is helpful, so that you don't stand in electricity and just die. So, with 2 deaths, because I was not paying very close attention, I mean, we still did it in, I believe, sub 4 minutes. We'll look here in just a second. Oh, cool, I got a new Hellcat Waist Guard. Please be ancient. 3:33. If that's right where you want to be. I don't know how this recording has been 15 minutes long. I might need to learn to shut up a little bit. But anyway, so that's going to be the build for you. The beauty of this build is that it's also great for speed rifts. The main difference is instead of Ancient Parthon Defenders, which are not optimal, ideally you would have Nemesis Bracers. Instead of Parthon Defenders, you would want to run Casterian Waist Guards, or Wrist Guards rather, with a gold skin in the cube, because gold skin is going to do more for you in speed rifts than Black Feather. If possible, you can probably find a... You can probably drop either the Gogok or Zay's Stone for a Boon of the Hoarder if you have it, just to be honest. So ladies and gentlemen, let's find out real quick if this is ancient. And other than that, I think that's going to do it for today's video. I don't know why I'm getting staffs, but okay. Not ancient. So ladies and gentlemen, until next time, this is Primetime CP23, and I'm out.